Hey guys, what's going on? My name's JellyBellyJoe and today I'm back with another video for you guys. Now today we are carrying on with some more Prison Architect. It's been quite a while since I've done a Prison Architect Let's Play, so I thought I'd start up another one. So we'll just go through what I am planning to do for this series. And hopefully we'll get further than the last series. We didn't really get that far in the last series. We ended up actually, well I ended up should I say, not we. Kind of screwing up and all my prisoners got killed. If you haven't seen that, I'll put an annotation, or sorry, a link in the description below. It ends up in a big bloodbath. It was quite entertaining actually how it all went tits up in such short a time. But without further ado, we're going to actually go ahead and we're going to start a new series. So welcome to Season 2. I think I could call it Season 2, I'm not really sure. So I've still got the grants mod on, which I had on last time as well, just to help me and direct me as per usual. But there's a whole ton of new features. In Prison Architect Alpha 20, so I think 22 are we on? Let me just double check. What alpha are we on? Alpha 24C even, Alpha 22, what the hell am I on about? Proves how long it's been since I've properly got back on this game. So, we're playing with the same mod on as last time, we're making another military prison, so it should be really interesting and really cool. Just get straight on with it and see what we can do with some of the new features and implementations. I am using also, as you can probably see here, Gary's amazing vegetable patch mod, courtesy of the game developers themselves, which should make for an interesting bit of gameplay in my prison. So let's start by making an entrance. We'll make the entrance like round there again. Around the two sections. Usually I don't move the two sections, I usually just leave them as they are, for the simple fact that the place I always expand first is always this side here, because I like to build more rectangularly now more than lengthways, for several reasons. I'll go into that in another video though, because it's not really important right now. I have put some generated trees and forests on as well, to start us off. But this is definitely going to be a maximum security prison. That's the plan anyway, it's a maximum security prison. I don't know how high density the prison is going to be, but I'm just focusing on mainly getting some really cool stuff in there. Taking advantage of some of the new things such as the core logic circuits and things like that in the game now. You can do some really cool stuff with different automatic doors, levered doors, button doors. So that's going to be really interesting to play around with, especially in a max security prison. The prisoners will probably first get in there to start with, probably are not going to be max security. We'll probably start off with medium or low and then work our way up to that. And we'll just see how far we could get really in terms of intake before things go very, very badly wrong. They always do in Prison Architects eventually, unless you've built a master prison. Some people do. I'm not that good at building the master prisons. So mine pretty much always do go tits up at one way or another. Whether that be because there's too many people, or just generally me making stupid decisions, which is probably a large part of it, to be quite honest. But alas, I think I think I've learnt a lot since the last time we played this. I'm really making a military prison now, and a lot of the new features in it, such as the informants feature, is really going to make this an awesome Let's Play. There's a lot of mixed opinions at the moment. Well, not mixed opinions, a lot of anticipation for this game, should I say, more than mixed opinions, as to what this game could potentially be like when it's finished and it's actually out of alpha and maybe into beta. I mean, this game at current has got a ton of features in, and the fact we're still only in alpha is really amazing to see. You know, it proves that the developers really haven't got any intention of stopping in terms of development anytime soon, which is something I really like to see. So I'm really happy about that. So let's get our room here now. One thing last time I didn't do very well is perhaps things such as storage and delivery areas, etc. Really I'm going to try make them a lot closer to the actual entrance to the prison, have everything funneled through one entrance, because last time watching over it, it was all a bit fragmented, not everything was together, and that caused problems really down the line. So I'm really going to try and avoid that this time. Right, so let's try. I've really got to watch my money at this point. We'll try and make our money go as far as we possibly can in each episode. Although I do have the additional grants mod on, I don't really want to be using all those straight away. I can only have a certain amount before I have to complete a few before I can unlock them, so really I do want to be careful as to how many I do put on at once. There we go. That should be enough lighting to cover most of that section. Right. Concrete tiles. Actually have them all the way through. Like so. Go. Right, so entrances to both our holding cell. Over here I'm not decided what that's going to be yet, but I definitely want this kind of layout at the moment. There's entrance to the prison. I'm trying to figure out what would be best. Perhaps a visitation room? I think that's something that we'll definitely have to have, so we'll have a visitation room there. If it's gonna appear. Yeah, there we go. So we'll label that as visitation, and we'll label the other one as a holding cell. Where's my visitation? Why am I going off that section? What am I doing? Visitation, there we go. Okay. Let's have a look then. Visitor table, that's the only thing that needs to go in there. It's actually bigger than I thought, the room. Let's swivel that round. Like so. There we go. That should be about good. And in the holding cell we just need toilets and the benches. Just to be mean, we'll put the toilet right in the middle, because, you know, everyone needs to see you taking a poo, really, you know? Really what you want to see when you go to a prison. Obviously. Right, in terms of power and water is something we need to get up. Kind of ASAP. Right then, let's... Where should we build that onto then? Just build an extra off wing here, after our fence. There we go, and then have the water and the power on either side of the complex and join in the middle. That shouldn't take too long to construct. And then we'll plop in a door like so, and then get our utilities put in. There we go. And capacitor and 23 electrical cables, which we're going to need to run. Amazes me how these lights manage to have any power to them, really. Doesn't really make much sense, really. When the rest don't, that one seems to have power, but I'm not going to argue. In fact, now we're speaking about lights, really, we should get some lights in the centre there. I do have fog of war on as well. I know a lot of people don't like to have that on, but for me it's kind of adds to the whole point of it. The whole point of CCTV, etc. Go. That should be laid in fairly soon. Go, get that in there. And then I think I'm going to put the cell block just here, literally just there like that, or maybe a little bit further back with the cantina coming off. Not doing too bad for money as such at the moment, but it is going to get a bit more tricky as we start to run out of money later on, especially when building a max security prison. Need some offices as well. That's something I need to build really ASAP. Get things researching. Make sure I'm not taking any prisoners. grants are all there, but we don't really need to take any of them out yet. Let's have a look. Where can we have our... Okay, now we'll... That should be alright for one office block. There we go. Alright, I like the look of that, that's good, that's a good layout. Have the officers, and if we have any spare space we'll put a staff room coming off there as well. Now let me just have a look at the rooms quickly actually. What we could actually have off here, just off this little corridor, we could have a small staff room there for our staff, which would be just about perfect really. And then have maybe a cleaning cupboard or something along the lines of security when we unlock it later on. That should be done fairly quickly. We'll get the utilities sorted out while we're waiting for that as well. Just by building that up through here. We need to patch in those gaps in the wall. It's got an extra one over here, but that's okay. We'll just patch that up. It's not going to be too big of a difference, to be honest. Not at this point anyway, I don't think. Okay, so not looking too bad at the moment. Now we just need to get things lit up and some officers put in, along with some walls. And that should be about it for this section. Let's have a look then. So we'll go in with the brick wall. Have that built across like so. In fact, what I'm going to do actually, just for my OCD, is going to get rid of that wall and we're going to put a new one across there just to shorten that up a little bit. Okay then, so let's start assigning officers and getting the furniture put in then as well. There we go. And last but not least is the filing cabinets in the corners. Okay, there we go. So that's the officers, or some of the officers put in. That should do for the starting. We've only got 4. I've really had like 5, but it doesn't really matter too much. It's not really a huge deal at this point. Where is office tab? There it is. Okay, and then we need to get some doors put in here also. And do we not want to put any wall there? Oh, I didn't order wall for that. That's a bit strange. Oh well, it doesn't matter too much. Okay. Here comes the expensive part of this whole building plan. £10,000. That's a one big blooming block of cells, but I'm also going to put the cantina and the common room in the middle of there as well. I was going to build the staff room off the side of the corridor here, but I've decided instead that it would probably be better to actually expand on one side here and put the staff room, and then expand on the other side here, maybe put the security, although I might have a security office just off the back of this main cell block A instead, which might be a bit better. I've decided in terms of layout. So we take the usual grants that you'd usually get and the administration centre as well. Those are the only two we can take at the moment, but that does give us nearly 60,000 to work with, which is a lot more than we had previously. I need to get this outside space lit up a little bit as well. Get our major put in there then and start with some bureaucracy. So first off we'll take security, captain and health also. And finance would probably be a good idea. Speed up time. Just a little bit more so we can get this hurry up and built. Okay, it's not looking too bad at the moment. So I think it is looking pretty good. Okay then, so can we get any metal detectors come through here as they come into the prison? Like so, and then we'll just get those wired up. They'll come in extremely useful for catching any contraband that's going to come in during the initial entrance to the prison. If we can eliminate a lot of the contraband as it gets into the prison from the trucks, because it can be transported in by trucks via deliveries now especially, then we will keep it, well, that will help to combat it a bit. I do know that contraband now in prisons is probably the #1 most dangerous factor that really needs to keep a lookout for. The simple fact that if you get any weaponry in your prison, it can turn very nasty for your guards very quickly. Or very expensive because you have to buy all the tasers and body armor, etc. just to help your guards along, which really, if you manage to control it in the first place with a few measures such as smell detectors, it can be a lot more simpler and a lot less costly. Well, that's the kind of theory behind it anyway. Nothing ever really works like that when you try and play Prison Architect now, rightly. So we'll see how it goes, really. And we could do with putting another capacitor down, really. Okay, so wires, show wires. We haven't got any wires here at the moment. Connect your remote access systems together. I don't need to get status light. Remote access. Okay, we'll just get them around and put all the lights in now. And then we'll start putting on the inner walls. Make sure that's 8, not 7. 8. Okay, there we go. Right then, in the middle of here we can split this into a few different ones. Mainly the idea was to have a security office in there, but I think I'm going to make that the canteen. Or perhaps make it the canteen. Let's see what rooms we've got available at the moment that we need for our prisoners. Okay, so... trying to think what would be best suited to go here, really. Just difficult to say this time. I think we'll make that into a security room, but for now what we need to do is expand on this to introduce a kitchen after placing some of these walls down for the cells that we're going to put in. There we go. Okay, that should be about the perfect amount actually. I'm actually pretty happy with how that's come out. Usually, without measuring it or actually doing any calculations, you end up with one that's 3 squares along or something. But instead we've actually managed to keep that just how it should be, which is really good actually. I'm actually really happy with that. That's just a bit of a look really. That's all that really came into that. nonetheless it's good. Right, so what should we have here? We'll have some key things. Now, don't know really where to have the armory. We'll have the armory back. We do need to, however, get a field put in place. So okay, so we'll get that around there. Okay, and that up to about there. In fact, we'll get that a little bit more, so it's just like 3 across at the top. And fence that off. Now in the centre here we're going to have the canteen or the kitchen, one of the two. I might make this to the canteen here and just have it opened out to the kitchen, and maybe have a common room as well latched on. I'm going to expand these two in this direction and put more cells as well, with the entrance coming down through this gap in the fence here, so they walk down and in into this secluded little area here. As for security, I'm not really sure where that's going to go. Probably should have planned that a little bit better, to be quite honest. But really, in terms of a layout of a prison, it's not going too badly at the moment. It just needs a bit of rethinking and recalculating to make sure that the security is how it should be on the prison. But apart from that, it's actually looking pretty goddamn good at the moment, guys. I'm pretty happy with it. So we'll just put those in before we go. And that's pretty much where we're going to leave this prison off for this episode, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the first episode of the first episodes. There we go. Of the Prison Architect Season 2 Let's Play of a Prisoner of War military camp. If you've enjoyed it, then please do leave a like, comment any improvements or any ideas you've got for this prison, because I'm literally just winging it as I go along at the moment in terms of design. So if you've got any actual like advice, then do post it in the comments down below. You guys were fantastic on the last Prison Architect series I did, so if you have anything to say or add, then please do add it down below. Please do show your support by liking this. As with any Let's Play, when you start it, it's kind of making quite a big commitment. So it's good to know you have quite a lot of backing from the subscribers and people and the community generally, so to make sure you can keep doing it. But enough blabbering on from me. I hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless, and I'll speak to you in the next episode, guys.